Lily, we just talked about elixir, and that's the basis of the products. I see here a few eggs standing. Actually, they look like clay. Can you explain what's the reference between the elixir water and the eggs, and what do they do?
Yes. Now, first of all, we made the elixir, and we got a lot of reactions from people. And they said, "Well, I feel so good with this elixir water. With the bottle. Okay. I want to hold it. I want to put it in the middle of my living room. I feel so good." And then, then we were thinking, well, it's not so practical to have a bottle in the middle of your living room. So maybe we can think of something else.
More appealing.
Yes, which is more appealing. And then Frank came up with the idea of an egg. And actually, without thinking about what it was, just started to explore it and to start to make it. So this is an oyster egg, and this is a duck egg. And this little one is, how it's called?
It's a quail.
A quail.
By the looks of it.
Yeah, but we first started with this one. And then we discovered, actually, that, the elixir has a high life energy, but combined with the egg,
with the shape of the
egg, it's much stronger, because a form is a frequency, is information. That's the same.
Okay.
So together they form an excellent couple, actually. So, and what happens when you put it in the living room? It will start actually to spread a good energy, like a water flow with light vibrating water through your space, through your living room. And people tell us that they feel, hey, the energy is lighter.
Yeah, I feel them right now when they're standing in front of us. It's really beautiful.
And when things happen, it seems to go easier. When there maybe is a conflict or something, it dissolves easier, things like that. But also, maybe even more important, of course, there's a lot of, how you call that? Frequencies around from Wi-Fi, things like that.
Okay.
We have that, of course, in our modern life more and more, and a lot of people are very sensitive to that.
Indeed.
And when you have this, there's another energy there. So these Wi-Fi,
so Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, things, they are repelled, or
no, it's not repelled actually. It's like what we talked previously. The thing is that you have space, you have a room, and that is not empty. What we talked about,
Indeed,
it is not empty. So there's something in there.
So it's filling the non-matter space, the void in the room, actually, with the energy from the egg, or the frequency coming out of the egg.
Well, actually, the thing is that when you have a radio, for instance, and you put the radio in the middle of the room, and you put them on, you can have hundreds of sound cats, things, you can, and it's all in this void, in this room. So the thing is that if you put an egg in there, so our product, then this room is filled up with this energy. And we have a relationship with that energy. That is noticeable. And so when other frequencies come in,
frequencies and radiation is a frequency of Amazon as well. Yes,
it is not changed actually, but it changed actually the relationship we have with that frequency.
Okay, so it's still there. We still have good Wi-Fi, but we're not it's not interfering. It's not affecting.
No, it's not affecting anymore. Well, because we have those sensoring, and we are really good sensors. We are the best, we can pick up a signal from somebody who looks like a little bit different, and you say, oh, it means something.
Something is not correct.
It means something, yes. And we pick it up like that,
in a second,
and we know exactly what's going on. What? So we are the very big sensors, and actually in this whole thing what we live in here.
Space,
So, and we have a relationship with those energies. Yes, and that's really noticeable. So That's why we learn actually that other frequencies, yes, they're there and they are disruptive and they can be destroying actually
so
things.
Being
really.
in a positive environment is really making it easier for us to stay inside our own energy and be not inflicting, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's really, it becomes difficult for the other frequencies actually to come further actually in our system.
Disturb us.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is really, really, well.
It's very nice. So it's a very, very good thing for people who are normally really disrupted.
It helps us to stay in our authentic energy, actually. That's what it is. I mean, I can meditate for an hour, maybe the same happens, but then maybe I have a bad day or something, and then what happens then?
You're being influenced more by the outside.
I mean, there's a lot of influence, of course, like you say, but I think there's also a lot of influence because of energies of people, things that are happening around us. They can affect us a lot. And with this, you stay actually in a higher energy, more lovable energy. So it helps us to stay
so even if you step out of bed with the wrong foot, you come in the next room and the egg is present. It's swap speed and you feel very positive again. Really beautiful. I see a few different versions.
So therefore in the house,
yes,
this one we developed actually for agriculture. Because we needed something we wanted to put in the ground. Of course, when you do it in the earth, when you do it with this, it starts to fall out of each other. So that's not so not so good. So we developed this one. And
so there is an egg inside the cylinder.
Yes, it's actually the same as this one.
Okay.
You wouldn't say so, but it is. And this one, can stay perfect like it is
in the
this
ground,
way
in the soil.
Yes, it will not fall apart or something. You can use it for years and years and years, and after the using we can take it back and recycle it again. So and we found out with testings we did that we have a better outcome when from the yeast.
No, well, a better yield.
A better yield. Oh, sorry. So my English is not that perfect, but I can understand.
It doesn't matter. It's all about the energy, I understood.
Yes.
So that's fine.
But actually what we found out then you need less chemical stuffs, or better said, totally none.
Okay.
And then you still have a good outcome. So, and it's good for the earth. Actually the energy starts to flow in the earth. And it helps the earth to have a better, how you say it?
Consistency?
Yeah, a better consistency.
Well, more life actually, more life.
So the life force you're putting back in the earth basically because of the frequency which is inside.
Okay, but it's a little bit more complex than that, because you have to understand that we live in this information world, what we have, you know, going back to quantum physics, what is actually happening is that we influence actually matter. That's what we do actually, because it is an information system. What we live in. Now the thing is that here we have a very powerful system that has actually a connection to source, to the source. And this source has a connection, of course, with nature, because when you look at nature, you look at it and you see only love. It's amazing what happens, you know, if you look at the leaf or a flower or stuff, it's amazing what it can do, you know. So this connection, what it has, you can imagine that if you put this in the earth, then you have a connection with source coming from above actually, and from this what is in the earth. So you have a bigger how do you say it, information incoming from source actually.
So it's like a beacon or a portal.
It's like a magnet. You can say actually like a magnet. It's actually logical.
Beautiful. So that's the magnet, and then it radiates out through the whole field. And it influences, I assume, also the plants and the herbs.
Well, because they have more life energy. But when you look at these systems, like this is a very small egg, And when you have them close by, it has a field of 2 meters. Yeah.
Still, this small egg has a field of 2 meters.
Yes.
Wow. So how much is when the small one has 2 meters? Is there a difference in radiation or
Yes.
It is.
This has a beam actually of 38 meters.
Wow.
So a
That's
whole
a
house,
house.
it is it's like a bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a smaller bubble, so this is actually for a room,
20 meters.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And this is actually for your own personal.
So your aura or the
Yeah,
space around
field.
is your own energy field. Okay.
But it's also important to understand because that is why an egg. Because when you look at life, almost everything that actually exists, comes out of an egg. Yeah. So even our aura has the shape of
an egg, indeed. Yeah.
So an egg is a very important form in nature
to create
because
life.
Not only to create life actually, but also to embrace actually life and to
nurture it,
save it actually
grow,
from other information and around it.
To protect it.
Protect it.
To protection, yes. So we as a human have to understand that nature made form like shape. Yeah, shape is the information. Shape is the frequency. Yes, and the shape of something is actually the talking point where it all starts. Yeah. So that's actually
it's interesting. Yeah.
That's a very important thing to understand. It's never something that occurs like out of the blue.
No.
No.
No, many things in nature. I think,
No,
not out of the
actually.
blue.
Actually, no.
Okay, so if you have like a field or a garden, how many of these would you need to influence? Like, is that the same then as this one? So 20 meters, or does it react differently if it's in the ground because it's in a closed environment?
Well, the thing is that per hectare, we use 5 of these actually in a pentagram.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh.
So you don't need that much actually. It is a very, you see it, a very energetic and powerful tool.
It's interesting that you just said a hectogram, and you were previously talking about that the shape is influencing.
Yeah.
So it's not just the shape of the egg, but it also depends on how they relate to each other, which again influences the environment around it.
Yes. So in nature, we find structures like the bee has a 6
beehive.
Beehive. Yeah. That is, if you look at the shape, mathematically and scientifically, you could say it's a wonder. It's amazing that this bee knows exactly that this structure is the best structure for why it's made.
So it's strong.
So it's no coincidence. There are no coincidences. Yeah. So, and we learned actually with the pentagram, what we have is actually the best shape to use actually in this
to connect the eggs again together.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Also, I have to tell that the thing is that what we learned actually from other people. So we made the egg, people bought the eggs, and they come with stories actually to us, and we learn from that. Yeah. So actually what we're telling here is actually no more or no less than what people actually experienced. Also we ourselves we experience it.
Yes.
Sure. Of course.
But it was special that we got a lot of stories, similar stories back.
Yes.
So then you start to see, oh, that's not a coincidence.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's more than that.
For instance, there was a school teacher. She had an egg in her purse. She put it in her purse. And then she went to school, And then she observed actually what's happening actually in the classroom.
Okay.
Yeah? But then sometimes she didn't take the egg with her, and sometimes she did. And then she noticed actually differences in how the class actually reacts actually in that day.
Children, yeah, okay.
So when the egg was there was more concentration of the children. Discussions were easily
Managed
actually, yeah. So it was more quiet actually into the classroom. But the children didn't know if she was wearing
the egg in the purse or not.
No.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So those are things we did, and I also did some testing that, for instance, I had a shape with, I took it with me in a presentation, for instance, and I put that shape, or I put this product just on the table. I didn't talk about it.
No.
I never showed it actually to anybody. Yeah. But every time after the presentation, there was one guy or woman
asking
somewhere at the end of the room, like that. I said, okay,
that's nice.
this is good. I didn't talk about it, but it was always the same.
Obvious that
Yeah,
it attracts really, it
Yes.
wants to be held.
And then, of course, I had a discussion. I asked the person, what did you experience? And they all experienced quietness, this serenity, actually, this coming actually to yourself. That was very powerful. So, and that's what actually this is all started.
Yeah.
How it started.
Yeah. So it all brings us back to ourselves.
Yeah.
And if I well understood, then again, the eggs are also the basis of all the other products which you develop, which are maybe more industrial.
Yes.
These are really nice products who create a positive atmosphere and who create balance in a home, but you developed a lot of products which are also possible on an industrial scale.
Yes.
Yes.
That happened after this.
Yes, because
that's a nice
these are the
story.
basis of it. So let's discuss that more in detail in a different episode. Thank you.